Hello there. In this video we're going to create a new design system file to house our components. We'll review our wireframes file and see what components we can make for our project. So let's do this. Okay, so welcome back. Currently we're in the DWM project file where we're storing all our Figma files. What I want to do here in this video is create a new file. So I'm going to go up to create and I'm going to create a new design file. And what we want to do is create a new file for our UI components. So let's rename this DWI UI kit. I think that should be fine for now. So before we start, we want to connect our style guide file to our UI kit file. So if we go to assets and if we go to browse team libraries, that then searches our team libraries and that brings up my style guide. I'm going to click add to file. What that does is that then enables all the typography, all the colors, all the things that we've created throughout these videos to be accessible in this file. So now when I click into the style guide file, we've got icons, we've got our logos, we do have access to the other areas as well. Let me just click and draw down a frame. If I click on the fill, as you can see, we've got all our color styles here as well that have been imported into the file. And if I click T on the keyboard and let's just type this text out for the moment, and I assume if I click here, go to my variables, I also have access to my typography variables and any other variables that we've set up in that style guide file. Okay, so let's set up a little bit of a page structure here to begin with. So to begin with, we're probably going to want the thumbnail. Just going to click on the plus, do 3 dashes, click on enter, that creates a line break, click on the plus again, let's add introduction. As maybe we want to give a little bit of context about what's in the file. Let's quickly nip over to our style guide file. Let's go to the thumbnail page and let's just copy that out for the moment. Okay, we'll go back in here, go to thumbnail. If I paste that in, if I now update this to DWM UI kit, I kind of feel like I should make it slightly more appealing to look at. Maybe let's add the logo in here instead. Let's just adjust the typography as well, because obviously we've got the variables in the file. Let's click on enter, let's apply another variable. So we want to, let's maybe make those semi-bold for now. Okay, I think that'll be fine for now. Let's just go in here and add, okay, let's just add neutral to that for now. Okay, let's use that for now. I think that'll be fine. I'm just going to copy and paste that out. I'm actually going to go back into the style guide file. I'll just update this one as well because this looks a little bit out of place. So let's try and keep a consistent style. Okay, I think that should be fine for now. Let's just set that as the thumbnail. If I go back home, yeah, these images are starting to update, so that's good. So it pulls through here on the style guide. I'm sure once I apply the one to the UI kit, that will also apply. So if I right click on the frame, set as thumbnail. Okay, and there you go. So we've got the new thumbnail shining through on our project file, which is good. Right, let's keep the style guide file open for the moment. Let's go back to the UI kit. Let's go to file. Let's go into the introduction. Now, what I probably want to do is I want to take a similar layout to the pages I've created here for some of the components. So let's just copy this out, copy the icons one out. All I want really is the structure of the page, so I can delete that. So this is going to be our introduction. There we go. Okay, so we've got our header. Let's just duplicate that. Let's just adjust the text here. So we probably want to go to regular. We want to drop that font size down. Let's go to 16 and use a line height of 24. I'm just going to copy something that I have got from ChatGPT. So just to give a quick intro to someone new and that's visiting the file. So I've added something really simple on the introduction page. So welcome to the DWM UI kit, a collection of essential UI components to help you build and prototype designs with ease. Straightforward, nice and easy, give someone a quick intro when they're coming into the file, what they're going to expect. What you could do is you can make splash screens or add in extra kind of imagery on this page to make it more engaging. So potentially after we've made a few components, maybe that's something we can do. But for now, we're just going to leave it as this basic page. Okay, let's just go back home for a moment into the project file and let's look at our wireframes. So let's go, I think it was in the research file, so let's load that up. Let's go to wireframes. And I guess what we want to do here is look at the wireframes and just see if there are any elements that we can create as components that can be reusable across all these pages. So zooming in, we'll zoom into our home page first. So we've got the navigation, which from memory is going to be on most of these pages. Let's go across. Yeah, the About Us, the Courses, the Get in Touch, and also on the checkout page. So that would be an obvious choice to create a navigation element. Same with the footer. The footer exists everywhere across all these different pages. I think moving down, you could probably create a component for these benefit cards. On the latest courses, these cards here, these are going to appear on the home page. They're also going to appear further along on the courses and merch page. So there's two variations of that. So maybe there's a component with a variant where you've got something that's designed for the courses and then something that's designed for the merchandise. Let's just go back here. I mean, we're going to have buttons here across the interface, so there are different type of buttons. Maybe there are going to be different styles, so primary, secondary, tertiary. We can look at those buttons in more detail. That's definitely something that's going to be required. There's an FAQ here and it has an accordion component, so clicking on the icon expands the FAQ to show more content. That would definitely be something that we can create that's reusable, show the different states of it being collapsed and expanded. And then going down to reviews, we've got some review cards here. So again, that ties into potentially a card component that has different variants that can cope with courses, merchandise, reviews, and so on. Let's just go on to one of our other pages as well. Maybe we want to create a component as well, thinking about it for the header section, so the hero image. So how our hero image is going to look across the different pages. So maybe we want something nice and consistent that we can align across all the different pages, because that's going to appear on the home page, the about page, the courses and merch page, and the get in touch. Probably something we can create that would be reusable. Got these different card elements here showing stats or showing images. Again, maybe there's a component here we can create, something that's got like color and a stat, and then something that flips and can be an image. I don't know, we'll see. We've got, again, different benefit style cards here, so maybe that feeds into the home page as well, because we've got benefit cards here that are in a kind of a portrait version versus having a more landscape version here. So that could be something we could look at. We've got our company logos here. They're being used again on this page. They're used on the home page as well, so we could create a component for those. Again, digging into the footer a bit more, we have a subscribe component here. So this could be an input. It's got a label here at the top. It's got an input here where we're wanting people to enter their email address. So we need to think about how that component's going to work. What are the different states? How are they going to actually submit their email to subscribe? So probably a little bit of thought that needs to go in there. Let's go to the next page. So yeah, we've got, again, like we said, the navigation, the hero image, the company logos here. Just zooming in a little bit here, we've got potentially a tabs component here that we could create. So that seems to filter the view for showing all categories, or maybe it could show courses or merchandise. We'll have a look and we'll have a think how this page is going to function. We've also got some filters here on the page. So how is this filter section going to work? What are the states that we could use for these different drop downs? What's it going to display? Maybe there's a component there that we can think about. So yeah, that's good stuff. Let's move along. On the get in touch page, again, I think the common areas that we've already looked at, so navigation and hero. I guess on this contact page, it's going to be form based, so we're going to need inputs. So most of these could be similar inputs, so we want to build an input component here with different states. I guess we'd need to think about when you click into a field, when it's active, what's that going to look like? What it's going to look like maybe if you go to submit this form and it errors. What are the errors going to look like? We've got a little drop down here to toggle countries, so how is that going to work for the phone number? We've got a card element here that has an active state when you're clicking on the different categories, so again, something to think about. How is that going to function? What states are going to be required? Yeah, looking down the page, we've got radio buttons here. So when you toggle, how would you like us to respond? It's going to give you at the moment, I guess, either or, but maybe we want both. Maybe you want us to respond by email and phone. So maybe we're going to have to think about that a bit further. How would we display that on the UI? Upload attachments. How is this component going to work? What's going to happen when I click it? Where do I click it? All these different things that you need to think about when creating something as a component. It may only be used on this page at the moment, but it could be useful as you expand out into other pages. Maybe you're going to use it somewhere else. It's something to consider. And we've got the company's addresses, phone numbers, live chats at the bottom. So I'm not sure we'd want to create that as a component. We'll see. I guess that's something you can review as you go along. So let's go on to the checkout. Again, looking at this, it's quite form heavy, so we're going to need these inputs. So these inputs are going to be across the different web pages, so it's definitely going to be a component we're going to need. Again, we've got radio buttons, we've got text links that do different actions, we've got drop downs here, so how is the drop down going to function? We've got delivery cards here, so what happens when I select a delivery method? How's that going to highlight on the UI? What's the active state? What's the hover state? Things like that. Again, we've got these cards again, so we could create something that's a bit more reusable for that. We've got a checkbox here at the bottom, so again, another component that could be utilized on different pages. Then we've got our cart up here, so let's see, we've got the different icons here for increasing and decreasing the quantity. Maybe that's something we want to create as a component. Buttons again, so that's definitely a key thing that we're going to have to create. So yeah, I think it's good. It's good to look at the wireframes again. It's good to think about what type of things we're going to need. So I think for now in this video, that will be it for today. I think what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to start to build out the navigation. That would be a nice one to start with. So yeah, in the next video, we're going to tackle the navigation and we're going to build out a reusable UI component that we can use across all the different pages. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for getting to the end. Like and subscribe, add some comments, check out some other videos on my channel. So yeah, that's it for this video. I will see you next week for another video. See ya.